Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Hi, welcome, Shah.
Okay, so your name is Hassan. So I was thinking that your father names is Hassan, so that's why. Okay, so can you see my screen? Hello, Hassan.
No current. Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so Hassan, first of all, we are going to talk about the accounting paper, like how many papers you will have in your exams and what are the marks for it and how to attempt and how many questions are there and how much time for each paper. So we will discuss about this, and after that we will discuss about any topic, like random topic. Okay, so first of all, your accounting papers code is 7707 if you are an O-level student. But if you are an IGCSE student, so your code is a little bit changed. It would be 0450. Okay, but if you are appearing in O-level exams, so 77707 is your code. And this is our syllabus for 2023-24, and till 2025 we will use this syllabus. And we have basically two papers in accounting, and one is paper one, and in this we have some MCQs. Previously it was for 30 marks. You can say that 2000 before 2022 paper one was for 30 marks, but now like it has changed from 2022 on 2020 onwards, and this is for now 35 marks. So you have 1 hour and 15 minutes for paper one, and for paper two you have 1 hour and 45 minutes to solve this paper. And in paper two you will have 100 marks, and you will have 5 questions to solve, and 5 questions, like all the questions are compulsory, like you have to do it. And in each question they will ask you some theoretical question also, maybe the benefits of the partnership, and maybe they will ask you about the different terms, like for example defined bookkeeping, and define cash book, or maybe define something else, like for example if they are going to ask about the different liquidity ratios, so they can ask about the definition of different liquidity ratios, and they can ask about the drawings, like what are the drawings, and these kind of things. So in, for example, if the question is in theoretical form, so they will ask about the definition, and it will have 2 marks. And maybe they will ask about the advice question. For example, maybe you have a question in which you have to solve the, for example, any calculation questions, and after that they will ask you that use the data of this particular question and advise dash business, maybe the name of the business is M limited company or ABC limited company or something else. So they will ask you that use this data which you just solved right now, use this data and advise M limited company that is it maybe it will be beneficial for this company to take the loan from the bank or something else. Okay, so like these type of questions they will ask you about advise wala question. Okay, so advise wala question, you will have to advise the company that whether they can take out the loan from the bank or not. So these type of questions examiner will ask you in your paper two. And now we will going to discuss about the assessment objectives. So do you know that what is basically assessment objectives?
No.
Okay, so you don't know about this. Okay, so basically your paper one and paper two consisted on these things: knowledge, analysis, evaluation. It means what is basically knowledge and understanding. Whenever examiner is using the term define, NCA, for example, non-current asset. Do you know about the non-current asset? That what are
No,
okay? So, how many chapters you have covered till now?
the first two chapters.
The first two chapter, it means the bookkeeping and accounting, and the second one is the profit and loss statement and the financial statements. So if you
Yes,
have
but
covered, so if you have covered the okay, so if you have covered the first chapter, so maybe you aware the term of assets, liability, and capital. Do you know about these terms? What are assets, liability, and capital?
yes,
Okay, so tell me that what are assets?
assets are the products which are brought by the owner of the business.
No, it is basically not a product. Product is basically what we are going to sell to our customers. Okay, for example, if M Limited is a company and they manufacturing different shoes, so basically shoes are the product, because whatever the thing which we are going to sell to our customer, this is basically our product. For example, if we are a shoe making company, so it means that shoes are our product. If we are maybe making any manufacturing any bags, so it means that bags are our product. Okay, and if we are a publishing company, so it means that books basically are our product. Okay, so product is a different thing and assets is a different thing. Assets and product, two different things. Product which we are going to sell to our customers, assets which we maybe, for example, when a business starts, they purchase some building, and for example, I think I should start from here. Okay, so basically assets further divided into two forms. For example, the first one is NCA. NCA is basically non-current asset, and CA is basically current asset. Okay, so first we have to understand what are assets. What are assets? Everything which a business owns, basically his or their assets. For example, if my name is Aska and I am going to start my company, okay, so what I have to do is I have to purchase a building. For example, if I want to make shoes and I want to start my business of like shoe making business, okay, so it means that I have to purchase factory for it first of all. Okay, and after that I have to purchase some machinery for it, because of course I am going to manufacture shoes. So it means that if I want to manufacture shoes, so it means that I should have some machineries so I can manufacture shoes very easily. Okay, so factory and machinery. Okay, so what other things I have to purchase? For example, raw materials, because I am going to start a shoe manufacturing factory. So it means that I will have need some leather and shoelaces or something else, like the all the material which I will use to make my shoes. So it means that raw material is basically, it is also our assets. So at the start, whatever we own at the start of our business, for example, factory, machinery, raw material, or what else, for example, cash and cash at bank, all these things are basically our assets, because we have possession, we have possession on these things. These are basically our possessions. So that is why we call factory, machinery, raw material, cash at hand, and cash at bank, all these things are assets. Okay, for example, if I am an individual person, okay, I am not going to start any business, and I have my mobile phone. So can you please analyze that whether mobile phone is my asset or it is just my possession in accounting language? Do you have your own phone, mobile phone in your hand?
Yes.
So is this your asset?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have any books in your bag? Sorry.
Yes.
Is this your asset? Because you can show because you can show possessions on these things. You can say that this is my bag because I have purchased this bag for cash, and this is my mobile phone because I purchased this mobile phone from cash. I invested cash to purchase in order to purchase a mobile phone, so that is why this is my possession. I can easily say that this is my thing. Okay. So whatever a business owns is basically our assets. Okay. So whether it is a factory, whether it is a machinery, whether it is a raw material, whether it is a cash, or whether it is a cash at bank. So everything which we owns and which we can show that this is our possessions. Okay. So it means that these are basically our assets. Okay. So assets basically further divided into two branches. So the number one is non-current asset and the second one is current assets. Okay, so let's analyze that if we are going to talk about the factory machinery and raw material, cash and cash at bank. So we are going to analyze that factory or machinery or raw material, basically which is our non-current assets and what are basically our current assets. So first of all, let's discuss about the non-current asset. All the assets, all the assets which have more than 1 year life, more than 1 year life is basically our non-current asset. This is the basically specific or exclusively this definition is for non-current assets. All the assets which have more than 1 year life. It means that we can use the non-current assets for more than 1 year. Okay, so let's talk about the factory. So if I say that factory is a non-current asset, so am I right or not? Factory. Can you
Yes.
please okay, so can you analyze that why factory is a non-current asset? Because this is basically a long life. We use the factory for 15 years, for 20 years. We will not change the factory location and factory again and again. If we constructed a factory, okay, so it doesn't mean that after 1 year factory will destroy. It is not like that. We will use this factory maybe for 20 years, for next 20 years, for next 25 years or more than this. So it means that each and every asset which has more than 1 year life is basically a non-current asset. Okay. So if I talk about the machinery, so can you tell me that whether machinery is non-current asset or current asset? Machinery, like the machines which which we put in our factory production department, and we use these machineries to produce different products. Do you know about the machineries?
Yes. If they
Yeah.
are high quality.
No, we are not talking about the high quality. We are basically focusing that whether machinery has more than 1 year life or not. If machinery has more than 1 year life, so it means that machinery is also a non-current asset. So can you tell me that machinery has a long life or not, more than 1 year or not? Can, for
Yes.
example, if I purchase one machinery, machinery is basically very, very costly. If we want to purchase any machinery, it will cost very high. It will cost us very high. Machinery basically, whenever we are going to purchase a machinery, it will cost us maybe 2 lakh, 3 lakh, or 5 lakh because it is so expensive. Machineries are basically so expensive thing. Okay, so once we acquire machinery, once we purchase machinery, okay, so it doesn't mean that after 1 year machinery will destroy easily or machinery will break easily. It is not like that. We will use the machinery more than 1 year. We will not change the machinery again and again because this is very expensive thing. Okay, we have invested a lot of money in it, so it means that this has basically more than 1 year life. It will not expire, or it will not destroy, or it will not break after 1 year. We can use this more than 1 year. So every asset which we can use more than 1 year is basically our non-current asset, which has long life, okay. For example, if I talk about the crockery, so can you tell me that crockery has more than 1 year life or shorter than this?
More than 1 year life.
No, it is not like that basically. Sometimes, sometimes some utensils or some cups and glasses maybe accidentally break down, and we cannot repair them easily. But if something bad happened to the machinery, we can easily repair that and we can reuse it. Crockery is something which has maybe accidentally, it can break and we cannot repair it. Okay, so it means that we cannot use this for more than 1 year, because we use this crockery in our office kitchen, not in our home kitchen, because mothers are very protective about the crockery, but it does not happen in the office. Okay, so let's talk about the raw materials. Once I purchase some leather to make the shoes, okay, so can you tell me that this leather will finish after 1 year or before the 1 year? Because shoes, we are basically making shoes continuously in our production unit.
After 1 year.
No, it is not like that. For example, if I purchase, for example, I am going to give you an example. For example, this is 2019 September, okay, and I have gotten an order from the customer and they said that they want 2000 pair of shoes, for example, okay, and they want this order in only 1 month. They said that we want this order only 1 month. After 1 month, we will send our supplier, or maybe we'll send our any employee to your factory, and we will take 2000 pair of shoes from your factory. Okay, so what we have to do now, because we have to complete this order in 1 month, we have to make 2000 pair of shoes. Okay, so what we have to do, so we will call our supplier who will offer us different the quality leather, or maybe the other raw material which we will use to make the shoes. Okay, so for example, if I order some raw material for it, raw material means leather and laces, or like whatever else which we supposed to use in while making the shoes. Okay, so I purchase the raw material for maybe 1 lakh dollar, for example, $1 lakh. Okay, uh, let me check. Okay, $1 lakh. So it means that when I purchase this raw material for 1 lakh and I used this material in 1 month because I have to complete the order. So it means that I will use the raw material in 1 month. It doesn't mean that this raw material may be we will have some remaining raw material at the end of the month, because we will use this raw material in 1 month, because we have gotten one contract or one order of 2000 pair of shoes for one of our customers. So it means that all the raw materials will be finished in 1 month. So we cannot say that this raw material is our non-current asset, because the life of this raw material is not more than 1 year. It is just finished in 1 month. And after 1 month, for example, if I was talking about 2019 September, so after September it will October. So maybe in October I will get again one more order from maybe one of our customers. So it means that I will again purchase the raw materials for it. And maybe this time customer says that I want my order in 2 months. So it means that I will again call my supplier, and I will purchase some raw material, and I will use that raw material in 2 months, because I have to complete the order in 2 months, and I have to convey the pair of shoes to my customers. So it means that I am using the raw materials within a within a year. Okay, so that's the reason that raw material is not our current asset. Okay, so
Okay.
after that we have cash at bank. It means that we have a bank account and we have some cash in our bank. So tell me that okay, so raw material is basically our current asset. Current asset is basically that type of assets which has life of less than 1 year. Okay, so raw material is basically a current asset. And after that, okay, so let's talk about the cash at bank. So can you think of it that whether it is a current asset or non-current asset?
I think it is the first option.
Is it NCA or CA, like non-current asset or current asset? Current asset.
NCA.
NCA,
Yes.
how it is possible?
Because money can stay there for more than 1 year.
No. Let's talk about this again. For example, I think I should go down and we will talk about this in detail. So non-current asset and current asset. Non-current assets basically are buildings. Okay, are lands, buildings, vehicles, and machinery. These are basically a non-current asset. Why? Because we can use these things more than 1 year. Okay, so what are basically our current assets? So let's talk about this. First of all, in current assets, the top of the current asset is basically our closing inventory. What is closing and inventory? Basically, this is basically a raw material. We have discussed this earlier. And the second thing is the trade receivables. And the third thing is cash at bank, or you can use only one thing, which is bank. You don't need to write the cash at bank. Okay, so first let's discuss about the cash at bank. Why cash at bank is our current asset? For example, on 2019, 1st September, I have balance in my bank. Balance means cash, okay? So it is basically $1,000, for example. Okay, so I have $1,000 in my bank account. So do you believe that business has to incur some expenses on daily basis or not? Not on daily basis, so we have to incur expenses on a weekly or maybe monthly basis. For example, I got my company name is, for example, ABC Limited. This is just an example. Okay, so ABC Limited got electricity bill. Okay, electricity bill, and the cost of the electricity bill is maybe $200. And we know that this electricity bill we have to pay within maybe 1 week or maybe 5 days, and we have to pay the electricity bill on each month. So how can I pay this electricity bill? Of course I will use this $1,000. Okay, I have to use this $1,000 to pay this 200 electricity bill. Okay, so after that, when I ordered some raw material from the supplier, so of course he will not give me that raw material free of cost. Of course he will charge me, charge some amount on, like, on for these raw materials. For example, if I ordered some raw material and this raw material cost me $100. Okay, so how can I pay this $100 to my supplier? I have to pay this to my supplier. It is my duty, because if I will not pay this $1,100 to my supplier, so it means that they will not give me any raw material. So if he will not give me any raw material, so it means that I cannot complete my order. So if I cannot complete my order, so it means that I cannot transfer the product to my customer. And if I cannot transfer the product to my customer, so it means that I will not get any payment. So if I will not get any payment from the customer, so what is the point of opening the factory? Okay, if I am not making any shoes, if I am not transferring the order to the customer, so what is the point of opening that factory? Why I am opening the business of the shoe making factory? Like, why I'm doing this? Okay, so it means that I have to pay $100 to the supplier if I want to accomplish my order on the given time by the customer. Okay, so it means that I have to pay $100 out of the bank account. Okay, so it means that a business basically has to incur a lot of expenses in a month or in a day. Okay, for example, if I receive some guest, maybe they are my customers, so it means that I have to purchase some tea or some refreshment for them, because they are coming into my office, they are basically negotiating with me, and I am maybe conducting a meeting with them in order to convince them that they should purchase my shoes, because my shoes are basically very maybe have a good quality, and maybe my shoes basically you can say they're very branded shoes. So that is why somehow I am convincing my customers. So it means that I have to offer some refreshments to them. Maybe I have to make some tea, or I have to order some biryani or pizza, or like these kind of things. So it means that this is also expense. So how can I manage this expense? I have to take out some money from the bank. Okay, so it means the money which I have in my bank, which is $1,000, it is I cannot use it for more than 1 year. I am using this $1,000 again and again in a year, on maybe monthly basis, or maybe daily basis, or weekly basis. And one other thing I have to do is I have to pay the wages to my laborers, because they are working in my production unit for making my shoes. Okay, so that's the reason that I have to use that money. And I cannot I cannot save this money for more than 1 year. It is not possible. Okay. So that's the reason that a bank, the money which is basically in my bank, it is also my current asset, because I cannot save this for more than 1 year. Okay. So that's the reason that why cash at bank or cash at hand, why these two are our current asset. So do you have any question?
No,
Okay, so let's talk about the trade receivables. What are the trade receivables? Do you know about this term?
I've heard it, but I've forgotten.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, for example, trade receivable, basically this is the money which we have to gather from our customers. Because whether you know about this or not, basically business is operating on the credit terms. What does it mean? It means that our most of our customer most of our customer purchasing shoes from me on the credit terms. Do you know what is a credit? Credit means they said that just give me my order and I will pay later. Maybe I will pay after 1 month, or maybe I will pay after 2 months. So it means that that money which my customer is supposed to give me after 1 month or after 2 months, basically it is my trade receivables. Okay, so there are basically a lot of customer. I have a lot of customer and I have to deal with them on the credit terms. So the total of the credit customers are trade receivables, and maybe this trade receivable, for example, $2 lakh. So we have to receive these $2 lakh before 1 year, because it is not possible that our customer will not pay us after 1 year. They have to pay us after 1 month or maybe after 2 months. So that's the reason that the money which I have in my trade receivable account, it is my current asset. Why? Because my customer will pay these 2 lakhs within a year, not after a 1 year. And because these are my possessions, because I gave my shoes to them and they have to give me some money for it. So it means the money they will give me in the future, I own that money. So that's the reason that trade receivable is basically our assets. And because this is for like the customer is supposed to give me that money within a year, so that's the reason this is our current asset.
All right.
Okay, so there are basically there are a lot of other terms which we have to discuss, but I think we are just running out of time, and we have only remaining time, which is 6 minutes and 14 seconds. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about one more thing, and the thing is the capital. What is capital? Do you know about this term? What is capital?
Yes,
Yeah, okay. So
resources provided by the owner of the business.
yeah, so can we say that assets are also our capital?
No,
Why? Because this is also, we are invested these things in our business. There is an accounting equation which is very important, and the equation is assets is equal to
capital plus liability.
liability plus capital. Yeah. So why this equation is 100% right? Because do you know about the liabilities? Liabilities also has two branches, basically non-current or current. And the term is basically copy pasted, just like assets. If it is non-current liability, so it means that we have to pay the money to the bank after 1 year, and if it is a current liability, so it means that we have to pay the money within a year. Liability is basically we are basically owing the money. For example, if we are going to start a business, so maybe we have to take out some loan from the bank. Okay, because we don't have a lot of savings. For example, if I have saving of 5 lakh, so it is not possible to open the business, to establish a business in 5 lakh. So I have to maybe take out some loan from the bank. And we know that if we are taking out any loan from the bank, so uh, bank will ask us to repay that loan maybe 5 years, in 5 years, or maybe in 10 years. So it means that this liability is non-current liability because its life is more than 1 year. And if we are owing money to our creditors, basically who are our creditors? The suppliers. These suppliers are creditors. So what does it mean? For example, if my supplier says that, okay, I am supplying you the raw material, so just give me my money, which is $100. So I will say, okay, I don't have money at this time, so I will pay $100 after 1 month. Okay. So it means that if I am paying this $100 after 1 month, so this is my current liability because its life is shorter than 1 year. I have to pay $100 before 1 year, after 1 month. Okay. So this is my current liability. So if I am investing loan, taking out loan from the bank, so it means the money I have invested in the form of loan, it is also my asset because I can say that this is my money. And if I invested the money, which may be my saving, the 5 lakh rupees which I have saved from maybe in my life, and I am going to use this money to establish a business. So my own saving is basically my capital. But whether it is my own saving, whether it is I am taking out loan from the bank, it is basically my assets because I am sure that these are my possessions. So that's the reason that assets are always equal to liabilities and capital, because liabilities are also our assets and capital is also. We are taking out the loan from the bank, but it doesn't mean that we will not repay it, and it doesn't mean that we will not use that money in our business. If we are taking out the loan, for example, if I take out the loan from the bank which is 1 lakh, and I am going to purchase uh, a vehicle for my business, and I will use this vehicle to transfer the product um, maybe to the customers. So it means that vehicle is basically my asset. I know that asset is basically a vehicle. Vehicle is my non-current asset. So it means that I am using that loan amount to purchase the assets. So we can say that liabilities are also our asset and capital is also our asset. So that's the reason that whenever we are talking about the accounting equation, so assets are always equal to liabilities and capital. Because capital, which is our saving, and liabilities, which is basically the money which we owe. So that's the reason that both things combine and it will transform into our assets. So do you have any question from this equation? Hello?
No, I don't have any questions.
Yeah, okay. So we have basically less than 1 minute. So I'm going to end this demo class and I will talk to your mother.